Want to make sublimation coasters for your garden, so I'm going to show you how to make a themed set. And I've made an ice lolly set and it says chill. I'm going to show you how to make it and upload an alphabet and put an overlay on it in Canva. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the craft and designer behind this channel, and I'm here to help you get the best of your crafting machines and become your own designer. And today we are using sublimation and making sublimation coasters. And I just love how these turns out. So I've made a full set of chill coasters for my garden. I just felt like I was taking them in and out every time that we were out dining in the garden. So I thought I'll just have a little set in a box that I can just pop on the table when we all go outside. And I love how they've turned out. This is my ice lolly alphabet. Keep an eye on my newsletter, because every week when I drop a new alphabet, you get it free for a week. If not, this will be in the shop for £5, and there's a full alphabet and number set. But also check out the blog, and I'll put the link to that below, because I've got dozens and dozens of free alphabets. But this is an adorable one. So yeah, keep an eye, because every now and again I give one away for free or offer a discount. What we're going to do today is we're going to make a full set of coasters for the garden. So as I said, you can make any theme. Check out the themes of the alphabets that I've got for free, or I'll pop the link to this below. So what are you going to need? So you're going to need a sublimation printer. So I've got the Epson Eco Tank. It's the basic model. I use the Ink Experts sublimation paper. I'm using it with my Mac, and where before you couldn't use colour profiles, you can now, so that makes life a lot easier. And I'm using my HTV Ron heat press. So what I'm going to do is I will see you over on Canva. We did run into a problem, because for some reason on Canva, on my desktop, when you upload a PNG, it didn't take the back off. The backs are taken off. If you do come across that problem, head over to Chrome, upload it on Chrome, and the backs are off. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, that must be a bit of a glitch, whether it's just with mine or with other people's. But just if you do come across that problem, we do remedy it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Canva, and we're going to make ice lolly coasters. So we're going to open up canva.com, and in the left-hand bar at the top, there's a box that says create. You're going to click on that and type A4. So I want A4 landscape, so I'm just going to click on A4 landscape, and that will open up that document. Now I'm going to go and open my ice lolly alphabet file. Now these are PNG files, so we have taken the back off these files, and this is where we had a bit of a glitch, but I've left it in so you can see it. So I'm going to open those and get all the files I need. Now I'm going to go into the side, and I want to click on elements, and I'm just going to type in circle. Now, if you're in the free version or the paid version, the circles are free. Some of the patterns aren't free in the free version, but there are patterns you can use. So I'm just going to change the colour of my circle. So I end up changing it to grey, and then in the end I change it back to pink. So leave it pink. It doesn't really matter, it's just so you've got a rough outline. The idea with the circle is that I've measured my coaster, so this is the size of my coaster, so when I print it off, I know my letter in the middle is going to be the right size. And then I'm going to duplicate it by 3, so this will fit 3 circles on my sheet. And you've got to make sure that your circles have got plenty of space, because I want to add a pattern on as well. So then at the bottom, I'm going to click add page and do another page with another 2, because I'm writing chill. So I need 5 different coasters, and I want to make 5 coasters. So this is where it all starts to go a bit wrong, because I'm going to position everything out. Then I'm going to go into my uploads in the sidebar and bring in my file. And you can see that there's no back on it. So I'm in Safari. This has happened before. I don't know why it happens. So what I end up doing, I try to upload a few more, thinking, oh, maybe I uploaded the JPEG, which you've got the back on. But once I do that, I realise that no, there's definitely an issue. So I go over to Chrome and open Chrome and upload them in Chrome. And you can see now as I'm uploading them in Chrome, they're uploading fine. That's exactly the same file. So there was obviously there's a glitch in Safari. So I'm working in Chrome now. So what I'm going to do now is just add my background. Into the sidebar, click on elements and type in background, and loads come up. They're not all free, so I'm in a paid version of Canva, but you can have the free version, and there are lots there. So I'm just going to pull that over. So what that's going to do is give me different colours. I can see my coaster in the background. I do end up changing that to pink, so it's only a slight shadow. And if nothing else, it's just there for me while I'm designing. Now I'm clicking on my image and I'm flipping it so it's backwards. Because we're sublimating, we need to make sure we flip our file. So I'm going to center it over my circle and make sure that it's sat backwards and a size that I'm happy with. Then I can start uploading the others. Now the H, I am going to flip it, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's a uniform letter. But yeah, you've got to make sure that when you sublimate it, it's going to reverse and it's going to mirror. And again, with the I, it doesn't really matter. So once we've done that, we've got the background layer in between, and that sublimates beautiful. So you can either make it smaller and do that as one square, one over each, so you've got the same combination of colours, or you can do what I've done and make your pattern bigger, whatever pattern you use, with whatever alphabet you use. So now I'm doing the L. So I've got two L's, so I'm going to just duplicate that once that's flipped and pop that in that position there. And that's the beauty of Canva. It is so easy to use, much easier than any other software. I think especially Cricut Design Space, and it's pretty consistent. I mean, yes, I've had a glitch today, but I've gone into another window and that's all fine. So I'm just making sure that I'm happy with everything, centralising it. I do go in a minute and change the background of these to pink, just because I felt like they looked a bit dark and I want to keep it light. But once I've got my positioning, that's fine to do. So I'm just going to drag that. You can drag that picker tool around and change stuff. And then I've just got to move around and find all my other backgrounds and change those too. As I said, that doesn't matter. You can barely see them now, but there's just a bit of a shadow. But I've got an idea for when I cut them out, although I do draw around them in the end anyway. So we're just at a position now where I'm getting ready to download them. So I'm just going to go through, change those, and then pop my background back in between. And then in the right hand bar, you can click share. And this will download both of these files in one folder. So just go over to share, click share. I've give it a name, so I've just called it chill, download, and you've got there, you can choose PNG, JPEG. Because I'm in the pro version, you can change your size, but the sizing is okay in the free version if that's all you're working with anyway, and click download, and that will download it to your computer, to your download file. And I've opened up one of those now. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go on the top bar where it says preview. You want to be on your preview window when you open it up, and you go along to tools and go right down to where it says at the bottom assign profile. And a box will pop up. So now you just scroll down and you want to find the right profile. So mine's in experts, and I think it was the ceramic setting. Then I can go on to print. I want to choose the right printer, making sure that it is my Epson sublimation printer. And I want to fill the page, so to make sure that my coasters are the right size. And I want to do it on fine settings so that I've got the best possible settings I can. And you need to set these settings so that you get your colour as true to colour when it comes out through the sublimation printer, because it prints differently. It prints really dull. And this is something you need to do every time you print off a document. So you need to do it in your preview if you're on a Mac and set your colour profile. I'm not sure how to do it in Windows. So this is my Epson printer, which is my sublimation printer. And I've changed the colour profile so that that matches this. They do come out duller until they're printed, and there are the first two. So the other one is still printing off, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this over here. I don't think I can really see my outline, but I'm not too bothered because I can just go around like that. You just want to make sure that when you look, your lolly is right more or less in the middle. I'm going to make it bigger. Just go around like that. And do the same with this, because that doesn't matter. It's just about getting it more or less in the centre. And then if you lean that on the edge and pull it outwards, you're going to get somewhat of a wonky line. Or mine is rubbish, but you can see that that's going to be in the middle. So I'm going to just cut inside my line. So you could do it in with the Cricut and cut them out perfectly, but I just don't know how much you need to bother with that. I just want to get a bit of that edge off there. And then I'm more or less there. When you've got your coaster more or less cut, I'm just going to pop it there like that and just trim the edges. I suppose this is the benefit of using a Cricut if you've got a Cricut, because you can do that, get them cut perfectly. So I'm going to tape that up and then I'm going to do the others. So with the tape, it's just about making sure that you get it nice and tight. So a great tip is to go around the edge like this first. This is such a hard single-handed job. Go around the edge and we'll stick it after. So I've taped the first couple up, thinking I should have cut it on my Cricut now. But anyway, I never. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around the edges like that. And weirdly, to say that I'm a hairdresser, I can't cut paper in straight lines. But we're just going to go around. We're going to do this and cut these out. Get them near to the middle as possible. And you can see now why I put a pattern on, because if I'd have just gone white, they'd have just blended into the coaster. So the aim is that I'm going to cut them out. So I'm going to I've put a pattern on to overlay the coaster, to give it a bit of detail and to give it a bit of depth, because this alphabet is so cute, but it just needed, because it was going on white and it's a white alphabet, it just needed something. I think when you're making it as a card project and layering it, it's different. It's easier to see the colours and you pick the colours to make the white stand out. But on this, on a white coaster, that wasn't the case. So I just wanted a bit of a background pattern that can make my ice lollies pop. And as I said, these are for my patio furniture, so that on a hot sunny day, we always scrabble around for coasters. I'm going to make a full set for indoors as well, because a few have been broken lately, but I'm always moving them in and out. So these will just be kept in a box and taken outside whenever we need outside coasters. So I might make a few more for when we have visitors. How was I ever a hairdresser? I do not know. But I could cut straight on hair. Just not posters, just not paper. In my defense, it is a whole different way of holding scissors. Got a lot more control. So here we are. So I'm putting my tape around, making sure that they're really secure, because we don't want them to move at all while they're being sublimated. If they move, they smudge, so you've really got to avoid that. So I'm just fast forwarding this now, and we're going to go through and do all the others. Now the H I've cut slightly wonky, so I maybe should have done it face up. Anyway, it's going to be fine because I'm not selling it, I'm using it for my patio. So we're going to go ahead with that. I'm just going to keep going through and taping them up till they're all ready for sublimation, making sure they're really tight and none of them are going to move. So now we are almost ready and we're going to warm up the HTV Ron heat press. So I'm going to do it at 200 degrees centigrade for 200 seconds, and it's a pressure of, I think it's 20 grams. So I'm just going to pop them in there. I've got white cardstock underneath to protect them, and the image is face up. So once they're on there, I'm going to cover them with some butcher paper. So this is like a butcher netting that comes with the HTV Romp machine, and I love it. It's brilliant. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, so we are ready to go. So I'm going to click start, and it's pressing. These are so quick and easy to make, and if you haven't seen my tutorial for my coaster card, I will add that. But I just needed some for next time it was sunny, and it's a half-hour job max. And they're ready, and it just finishes and lifts itself. That always tends to stick. It's like really static, and there they are. So we're going to move them over there, let them cool down because they are so hot. I've got some heat-proof gloves so I can touch them and move them, and I've got a heat-proof mat over there. So they have been cooling for a couple of minutes, so they're still a bit warm, but I'm just dying to see. I'm just gonna, I don't know why I even try. Oh, I might as well just tear them off. And this is why I design my own alphabets, because to be able to create stuff like this, I just love it. Right, move that up there. I'm just too excited. That's it. And look at that. I mean, wow, I just love those. I think the background makes all the difference. They just look fabulous. So I'm going to take the rest off now. I'll fast forward it. They're still a bit hot. So I definitely recommend wearing your heatproof gloves and just work through and take all the backs off. And as long as your sublimation hasn't moved, this is the result you're going to get. They're so easy to make. It's such an easy gift. The problem is, look at the size of that glove. I've got two gloves. One's normal. The other one's like, I don't know, I think it would fit the Hulk. It's that big. That's my H, which was a bit wonky. But do you know what? That's all right. If you're selling it, obviously it's got to be perfect, but it's for my garden, so chill. And what we've got now is for the back of these, they're still a bit hot, but for the back of those, I will in a minute come back and put the cork backs on, and they just stop it from slipping and stop it from scratching your table. It's going on a glass table. And they're cooled down enough to touch now, so we're going to put the backs on. And they're just brilliant, these coasters. I'll pop the link to these. They were from Amazon and I bought quite a lot. They weren't that bad actually. Pop that on the back and there you've got your coaster. I mean, these are great for making personalised ones. So I've made one recently for my son to give his girlfriend, or he made it with me, should I say, and he made one of a photo of them together and it turned out amazing. So there's so much you can do with these coasters. I'll pop the link below for the coaster card as well. And I love the way that we've got, as I said, different tones on everyone from using this mottled background. It just looks so good. And how did you find that? I just love how they turned out. I love this alphabet. They're so super cute. But as I say, there are other alphabets available. And I love how using the backgrounds from Canva work really well. So they're all different colours. So they've all got a slightly different tone. This is the H that was slightly off centre. I'm a bit frustrated, but it does look all right. And then I think this is my favourite. They had the orangey tone. Orange and green. There's dozens and dozens of backgrounds that you can use, and sublimation is such a great way for especially if you're a small business. Making sets like this is perfect, or even making personalised, just one-off ones and making them as birthday cards. I will drop my coaster birthday card tutorial below and you can have a go at that if you want to have a go at making a set for your garden. So I'll drop the link to the alphabet below and my free alphabets, plus the coasters I use and any other products I did use in this tutorial. Let me know in the comments how you got on and what alphabet you used. This is such an easy way to make projects to sell or for gifts. It's brilliant. And everybody uses a coaster every day, whether it's in the office, at home, we all use them. So it's just something you can never have enough of, but it's just nice, something nice to give. And if it's personalised, even better. Thank you so much for crafting along with me. I will see you next time, and happy crafting.